not for sure today. We are up and running here in Matchday 12 of SerieA Live. It is Roma visit Cremonese in the Sunday 3 o'clock kickoff. And then that's it. Making from whites to left in that hood strip of grey and red Roma. Very neat away jerseys this season of more whites with a little pointing on that tune on the eagle-eyed viewers will notice the red smear of the paint across the players' faces. This is once again the initiatives by SerieA. Talking about the violence against women and then the country. Players, as you did see, a nice smear of red paint supporting that particular cause. Stop the touch you saw Enin Aldero. This is the Enchetti. The Domaivadi. This is Moriani Mussolini. Last touch coming off the man on Lenzo Lazio. It's a key emotional day for him coming up against Roma. He's a Lazio boy, born and bred into the new system. There is a load here from the side from the capital coming up against their leg rivals. That's it, one dot. And Ditsy with the challenge on Mancini. It's a good couple of weeks, Gianluca Mancini, finally getting the recognition in a rubber shirt. Smurber Fernsfield he deserves, put up to the national side by Gennaro Gattuso. They spilled away at Estonia to give it a little bit of hope going into that final match against Norway in the World Cup qualification process. Was to be for Gattuso as a man as they were beaten and humbled really by Norway 4-1 at the Stadio Olimpico in Milan. As such, I have to go through the playoffs and face Northern Ireland at home, Wales or Bosnian Herzegovina away. Not some easy pathway into next summer's World Cup in North America, States, Canada, Mexico. That ball really to think, bitterly missing out on 3 World Cups in a row. I think it was Pachero beating Sheddick to the ball. Wesley goes down. An Indian South here, which the referee stopped waiting for. It's in favour of Roma. This would see Wesley there by Jamie Dardy. Giallorossi back in his boyhood club, following a €3 million switch from Lecce at the beginning of the season. And just didn't offer an Nau's campaign. But they are outstanding players as they remained in Serie in the last day of the season, beating Lazio by a 1-0. To European football at the same time. Wesley. Fast from Pellegrini. Giallorossi first. And clearance to him. Big day for the young Polish defender, just 20 years of age, making his Serie A debut. He's had 4 substitute appearances for Roma this season in Serie A. He's played more than 70 minutes in total. It's a big test for him coming in, placing the very experienced Mario Hermoso. And added pressure, of course, coming with the fact that Roma have only conceded 5 goals in this Serie A campaign, of the tightest defence. Largely thanks to the presence of Hermoso and Shiri and Dika. Developed a statistic relationship between the 3 of them. Dika. It's long for Mancini. Is Martin Pachero. For the Roma fans, Southern to Cremona today. The voice. Other night, them being sun around large parts of the stadium. All the fans have filtered through to the home section. This is pre-stamped it. Pellegrini looking for Baldanzi. Jimmy Vardy into Baschiotto. Now Bonazzoli, he finds Jamie Vardy. That's an intelligent ball. Vardy gets there ahead of Sila. First big chance to Cremonese. Well met by Wesley. The flag has gone up on Jamie Vardy. Officials instructed to keep the fight down unless they're absolutely sure, so that the attack can reach a conclusion. So this shimmy. With the Bratic pre-kick-off had Mathias Solé lining up as the sole striker with Baldanzi and Pellegrini in support, but it looks as though it's ultimately Pellegrini just playing in behind the number 10 role, the Trequartista role for Baldanzi and Solé as a front two. Solé retaining the ball well. This is Manchi. Back to the Argentine. He's got Baldanzi ahead of him. There's to Zeki Celik. Sid Baldanzi will be eager to impress, yet simply now. So it's one chance since joining the club from Empoli a couple of seasons ago. Tommaso Baldanzi tipped for very big things. It's starting to be his career. Here he is, Baldanzi. Begin the touchline. Put him toe-to-toe with Terracciano. Cornet, it's up a loose ball. Good defending from Terracciano. And then space to that back three for Cremonese comes to the club on loan from Milan, of course, at the beginning of the season. He expected to play further out wide, but that's a bit of roll has been left for Bodiani. Solidi and Bardieri. Field side on Jamie Vardy. The vision from Bonazzoli to pick out the Englishman. Distance to the feet of Solé. It's on but well. Nissamini from it. Very tight early on. First 8 minutes here at the ZD. Those pace dancer. Wide shot, sliding forward now. This is Wesley. Pellegrini. Referee getting in the way of Pellegrini in the Lerner skipper not new with it. Here goes Bonazzoli. He's got Vardy in support. JD Vardy is found. Toe to toe with Undika. So again, the flag goes up. It's another offside on Jamie Vardy. But did he do with the run there? So expecting ball to come earlier from Bonazzoli. But they're forming a good partnership, Vardy and Bonazzoli. It's a goal for Vardy, 4 for Bonazzoli already this season. Look at the caliber of teams in which those two have scored against Bonazzoli with fantastic goals. The San Siro against Inter and Milan respectively, but a brace against Genoa too. Vardy's 2 goals coming against so quality opposition in Atalanta and Juventus. It's an attacking duo, certainly know where the goal is. Baldanzi taking on Baschiotto. Baldanzi, you just saw it. But the Anchetti. Fournet. The Stante pulling the strings. It's Baldanzi. So as to skip away from Bondo. Wesley. Hyacinth to play on the edge of the area. Stante takes the shots. You know, there to shoot, come out and play, and he does. It's the kind of play that's been pleasing Roma fans this season already. So many players within their ranks capable of making those intricate passes and delicate flicks. not repeating that there is no target man, a typical number 9 for Rother this afternoon, with Evan Ferguson only sit for the bench and Artem Dobbik continuing on with this injury problems. We're hearing he's going to be out until at least the week before Christmas, so a good month the services of the Ukrainian striker. And that Ferguson still yet to score for Roma in Serie A. Hopkins, I think, is still just 21 years of age. Here's Wesley doubling up on him, but the interne channel. That they put into the path of Bardieri. Back ball, JD Vardy. As well, had to put in support. This is Martin Paichetto. First shot for Cremonese towards Stila's goal, but it's dragged wide, the Argentine. Cremonese is certainly holding their own in the first 11.5 minutes here at the Zini. Beginning of the weekend, Roma will level up points with Inter. Top of Serie A, that's where they'd like to be come the end of the weekend's action. This is the 6th match of 10, remember. There's been big team goals already. This particular game week is full of goals, an average of 3.5 per game. SerieA can continue here. Paolo Mancini and Warren Bondo to join live this season in Cremona. From Milan. Allegri, the Milan coach, allowing him to go out on loan, but he's certainly one for the future. Allegri has been very adamant about that. So he has a place in the Milan squad in the future. Calum Pellegrini in the centre of the park. He gives one of the jobs to advance 20 metres or so off the bench. Some confusion over who was to take this free kick, but Muhammad fancy calling Pellegrini back to take it. It will be the skipper looking it in towards Giallorossi, who won it well. His play by Vardy. And fall on Lorenzo Pellegrini. He looked to be an obvious one. Bonazzoli onto Vardy. Those two linking up well. This is Bonazzoli. And the first save from Stila is a fine one. Cremonese's two front men combining well. It's the Serbian goalkeeper to the rescue from Roma. Cremonese denying an early lead. Beautiful turn by Bonazzoli. It's behind left to right, corner him. Bonazzoli picks up the loose ball. What is stayed at left foot. But Mussolini tried to keep this one in play. Tabia last touch on Jenny Vardy. I'm sure On the end, Mussolini knew that. In fact, he saw it out for a throw-in. And for Giovanni Ivaldi to give the decision away. And for visitors, this was the chance for Bonazzoli. He's been in fine goal-scoring form this season, but Miles Filat. But Keepers conceded the least goals in Serie A so far this season. 9, the Italian striker. Mancini. Into corner. Mancini continuing the run. Wesley. Barbieri heading forward. In match between himself and Giallorossi. Here is the young Polish defender. Set up fairly well. To put a football on yet. This is corner. Corner gets the ball back. It's got Paldanzi in support. This is Matthias Soler. Thinks about the shot. Soler, technical. Longest top scorer this season. That's another one. Emits a finely struck goal from the Argentine, Matthias Soler. Stila kept up Bonazzoli at the other end, and 2 minutes later, it's the Giallorossi who take the lead at the Zini. No Dovbik, no Ferguson, no Wadlam. Bologna, Matthias Soler leading the line today. And that's what he can do, given the space, given the chance. A couple of lovely touches to take it away from Bianchetti. And he buried it with that wonderful left foot. That's 10 Roma goals he scored now. And 9 of them have been away from home. He is the specialist that Roma can rely on their travels, Matthias Soler. Well, that very much sums up Roma's performances this season. Keeping it tight at the back, relying on Stila to make those saves. Yep, and one half chance, and that's all that was. It's been buried. Clinical, certainly the key word. Sasone for Roma this season. Pellegrini to Wesley, this corner now. Terracciano to Van de Putte. And Dali's quick, but he's quite quick. Putting the press shown there by Jamie Vardy. You see him fact, small bats. The league goal turned out to be a consolation against Juventus, but at the time it gave Cremonese real hope against the boys from Turin. Was James Manetti's first game in charge of the old lady. Bob keen from Jamie Vardy. Look, giving up on a lost a ball over the top and seems to be easy. Also Federico Gatti to defend against, but Jamie Vardy, that tenacious side of his game being showed. Did expect him to close down these more, but defenders the entirety of the 90 minutes here. It's going to be to Cremonese find themselves a goal down to Boyman. But it can strike on the edge of the box. This man, Matthias Soler. How'd that see? It's a please stand in. Cremonese took something off a couple of yards and giving Roma that space. Be a dangerous move. Certainly players capable of making that killer pass forwards. Here's Wesley. Applying white shirts in the box corner and circles it back the way to Giallorossi. Serie. It's the feet of Pellegrini. ForzaRoma taking over. That was the talented Frenchman. And we stand here. That's all he's going to have to do his fair share of defending today. Emily's side ahead of Franco Vasquez. I think for Giallorossi and Cremonese at the moment, it was a boy starts, but it's only forcing the first big save of the game from Villas-Vida. And Slater, a little bit of defense. Good of Argentine starlets. That's here, Serie. Multiple to think that Juventus let him go for the fee that they did. It was reported to be around the 25 billion euro mark. Shadow winning the foul. Chan. Barbieri now. Barbieri. To Moriani, Nusonini. Pachero taking over. He needs some help there, Pachero. And the wounded is it, who suffered a disappointing 3-0 defeat to Bologna at Blue Energy Stadium yesterday. Vincenzo Diano's side. And in the other, Romania, Loba Terry, Nick fogging Roma, but it's a little hard to get the win here today. Building their place, the summit of Serie A for Stinter, playing later in that mouth-watering Derby della Madonnina against Milan. Keeping his first derby in charge of Inter. Opposite number for tonight's game, Matt Allegri has not too well. What's needed to win a derby. Coached Milan in the early stages of his coaching career. Highlights, of course, on this Serie A weekend. With that, lots of goals, lots of interesting results so far. Parma going away to the Verona earlier on today and winning 2-1, hiding the pressure on Paolo Zanetti, the Verona coach. Falling 3-3 draw between Serie and Genoa yesterday. Fully getting back to winning ways under Antonio Conte. Seeing Marcelo Palladino's Atalanta. Palladino's first game in charge, of course. Hold that out. Following dismissal of Idan Juric. My friend Giovanni had all these stop play because that flare has been thrown home to the field. Somebody in the brow. Let's have another look at the goal. Mattias Stornet latching onto the ball from Manu Kone. Still had so much to do. Perhaps Aldeno. Decision impaired by a few red shirts there, but take nothing away from Mattias Stornet, sending those fans into delirium. Still so long to go in this season, but why can't Roma start to dream? Will they never won a title at Atalanta? He goes, and they put that. Mount across. We'll just hang off the Belgium for a second there. Let's hit that channel for Cremonese. Spreads it out wide to captain Bianchetti. This is Van der Putte. To this time to make something happen. He came to the club as a wide player from Captain Zara at the beginning of the season. Cremonese fought out of Fest, some 4 and 3.3 million. The newly promoted side is quite a lot of money in this market. It's been converted by David Indiconi into more of a centre midfielder. Creativity, a threat from 6 to the Belgian. Set to early wedding Cremona. And we have some motions for the signings over the summer half. Shadow goes down, wanting the foul. The referee says nothing doing. Here goes the goal scorer, Soned. It's got the kind support. Baldazzi in the centre. This is Tommaso Baldazzi. Baldazzi kept up by Odeno. Another second sign of asking. It's Lorenzo Pellegrini. Cremonese defenders asking if there was in an offside position. Wonderful work from Soned into Baldazzi. The engineer, the angle on the shot away. Odeno will be disappointed. He parried it only into the path of Pellegrini. On target in 3 successive games in all competitions. Lorenzo Pellegrini. The goal in Glasgow against Rangers. The penalty converted against Udinese. Now he has one at Bazzini. Poor goalkeeping in truth from Emin Aldero. He'll be disappointed at that. Good to be in an offside position though. Lorenzo Pellegrini. That's what they're checking. And is this a foul on Martin Pachero? Hit the build-up. Pachero not happy. The challenge coming in from the Roma player. So there's a notch for Ivaldi to deal with there. Some potential reasons to disallow this goal. Who's well, we're hearing that the video assistant referee check is concerning that foul. A seguito di revisione di calciatore numero 7 della Roma che segnerà la rete, parte in posizione e chi regolare. Decisore tirare fuori gioco. The referee's decision is Pellegrini was in an offside position and the goal has been chalked up. It could have also been to the foul of Pachero, which did seem to be an infringement, but a referee communicating to everyone in the stadium. And part of the rules this season have come into play in Serie A. Very efficient check has come to an end, and the goal is chalked off, so Roma still have their 1-goal advantage. For them, it's disappointment, and it could have been soon. It would have been a real difficult way back into the game for Cremonese. Should that goal have stood? Aldero will be the most relieved man at the scene here. It was he who parried it straight into the path of Lorenzo Pellegrini. Pachero. Options left and right. Bill comes in, and this is onto the footing of the goal that's still there for Van de Porte. And a lucky second save by Di Stira. Well, it's all kicking off now as you need Roma. Before they went 2 goals ahead, the goal was chalked off and Cremonese have watched right back on the half-hour mark. And they feel they should have tied things up at 1-1. Van de Porte denied by a mix of Sekucelik and Di Stira. So unlucky that Giallorossi as the ball ricocheted off the frame of the goal. But yeah, he was momentarily switched flanks with Modiani Mussolini. Both of the natural white footers, whose Modiani Mussolini started on the left-hand side, but Barbieri has been instructed to stay there by coach Davide Nicola. Now, once again, Bianchetti. That's a disallowed pedigree goal. Might just give Cremonese a bit of momentum. He goes Matteo Solé too quick for Bianchetti. He's got help dancing in the centre, but somehow Giallorossi diverts it behind for a corner. You've seen those go one for the top part this year. Fired all deep. So Bianchetti unhappy with something that all the ball is diverted behind by Giallorossi. So you said too much to the referee, who's giving him a yellow card. Perhaps it was because of the position in which the Roma player took to be throw-in. This was up to where the whole left the deal to play. Pellegrino standing over this one. In towards an empty car. Moving as far as corner. This is Cristante who can keep it alive. Onto Mancini. Just put off balance by Van de Porte. How foul. Certainly presence of a Belgian. Difficult for Roma's number 23. Red challenge from Voldo. Mustache. Simu coming off Mancini. Putting all the accounts to prevent the quick throw taken by Barbieri. This is Giallorossi. Van de Porte. Wasted once again, and it's easy for Roma to pick up those loose balls. Solé once again taking on Bianchetti, but some strong defending. Just some Bianchetti, but about the 82. Well, he's the danger man for Roma today. Matteo Solé, 1 goal already and looks in the mood. So very dangerous when drifting in from that white flank on his favoured left foot. This was the Pellegrini goal. It's ruled out for an offside. Last finish by Roma's ex-captain. And you have to say now, after Brian Cristante, it's named a club captain by Piero Gasparini at the start of the season. Gianluca Mancini and Lorenzo Pellegrini, the vice-captains. Wesley led the cover challenge from Serracciano. Picks up the Brazilian causing problems for Cremonese down their right-hand side. Wesley, and very similarly to Gianni Mussolini, a right-sided player operating on the left. Yeah, some tension you're being felt in the Roma camp. He's still going to be out for a good month or so. Expected return date very similar to that of Artem Dovbyk, just around the Christmas period. Until games to come, both from the domestic fronts and in Europe for Roma. Well, they face Midtjylland on Thursday. It's game. Bastiotto, Aldansi. It's going back to Roma's upcoming fixtures. It's a difficult week for them, albeit they do face two sides at home at the Olimpico. Two very tough games. Midtjylland have been in fine form in the Europa League. And it's the visits of champions Napoli and the dead solid between Napoli and Roma. Last year there, that one will be Antonio Conte going up against Gianpiero Gasperini, the more fiery characters in the Italian game. Conte side going into it. Before, following that with Atalanta yesterday. Pellegrini still going. So congested down there. It's an attacking style. You know, the pressure on Cremonese is me into the final 9 minutes of the first half. Here's the offside call on Pellegrini. She conceded. So then essentially the upper arm of Pellegrini was in an offside position. Those are the margins. That's why it's set. The assistant referee and Gianni Aroldi, the long-field referee, had to be absolutely sure. Cremonese have fashioned two large chances in this first half. They haven't taken either of them. One falling to Bonazzoli early doors, and the other one fantastic double save from Milastrida to deny Nari Handepute. Sole taking Roma's big chance of the first half very well. Then that goal that separates the two sides. Pellegrini. Way by that they put it's another wayward ball from the Cremonese midfielders. Getting the ball back to Roma. Wesley always looking to nibble with that right foot. Takes a little make off the defender. Bianchetti gets the first head to it. This is Serie. And his ice wits up there. The Turkish international is scored against Udinese. It's his first goal in Serie A in big T2 games, and fancy the second one. With as many matches. As the yellow card confirmed now it wasn't for Matteo Bianchetti as we first thought. It was brandished in the direction of Martin Paisiero, who's stranger to a yellow card. Paisiero. Much midfielder. There's a little bit for it to this Grigiorossi midfield. On the side and they put in Bondo. Sole. Intelligently done to find out that scene. This is Chelly. Pellegrini in the center. Denied. Final Diallo. That is a superstar. All this time he was intent on not playing the ball into the feet of a Roma attacker, just like the previous attack. What a smart stop. The fingertip save from the Indonesian goalkeeper. Pellegrini should be doing better for there, you feel. Perhaps the bounce of the ball. Letting off the number 7, as you can see, looking down at the turf. Furiously, Pellegrini. Ball comes in from the corner. Way by Jamie Dardy of all players. Wesley. It's the Tchaikovsky that's well read by Terracciano. Nice and really saving to clear their lines and retaining possession for more than 2 passes at the moment. It's been a Makes troublesome last 5 minutes to them. Roma look by doubling their lead every attack. The will be happier if the two sides, but who did feel that Gianpiero Gasparini would have liked to go in a half-time shoe up, given the chances that they've had. Maschirotto, plant of Bobdo. How a rare chance for Cremonese to be told, but it's that induced pass from the centre midfielder once again. Caught in. Threatening here, and Shelik was wide in challenge of Maschirotto there. Tenor channel. One is a neat ball from their wide players, Barrieri and Soriani Mussolini. It's been squandered once again. Baldazzi leads to Mattia Sole. Yet he did enough. Danger not over for the Grigiorossi. They stamped it. Simbe losing all kinds of problems. Somebody whips it in. Easy to deal with. This is Giallorossi. 4 minutes to go until half time. And Roma looking to double their advantage. Baldazzi gets a corner. This is where the counter attack. The prominent full Cremonese. It's drilled towards goal by Baldazzi. Stick power on the shot as it did that long to think about that one. The head simply man. You see at the end for Aldero, but everything behind it. The main plan certainly for WD's side is getting Roma on the counter attack, but the fastest strikers have been wayward in this first half. It's 1,000. Jamie Vardy plays the advantage. Match really suitable challenge by Barrieri. Another imperious performance by Roma's captain in this first half. Brian Crescent, who's covered more ground than any other player. 5.2 kilometers so far. And Aaron, who makes them titch. Stamped in. Corner. And on this pedigree, Baldazzi. Some good touches in the last 5 minutes. Tommaso Baldazzi to the blindly. The Bondo founding corner there in the centre of the park. Fug is doing a fantastic job against Bondo. Best young centre midfielders in the league, Warren Bondo. Team that last season, the January transfer window from Monza. Zeki Celik. Dim's tackle there, would be Bianchetti, but the theme for Cremonese. Decent last stitch challenges, but struggling to get it forward to the attackers. As for Roma, it's been pretty much the story of their season so far. They've absorbed some pressure, they've conceded very few clear-cut chances, then they've taken the goal well when it's been presented to them. And here's Sole, net footage strike on the edge of the box, separating the two sides. And Gasparini will be quietly content how his side are playing at the moment. They have to have a 2-goal advantage, of course, but Versini is not an easy place to come. Wesley comes forward down that. Referee not interested. And that's Girotto. Lovely tummy. Sent for a foul on Giallorossi. It is a yellow card for the man on you. The referee took a long time to think about it. Perhaps he was playing the advantage. A little unhappy because they felt it was a foul of Wesley. So a first Serie start. And the first yellow card for Jan Giallorossi. That's certainly a foul from Florian Lussering on Wesley. You can understand the Roma disappointment in the referee's decision there. Thinking that was less of a challenge than Giallorossi. Perhaps the fact he was preventing the counter-attack into the referee's eyes. Bianchetti up for the back. Last chance in this first half for Cremonese to draw level before half-time. Quick throw. And held up by Mancini. And put once again. But the referee was pointed to the spot. No hesitation needed. The referee Airoldi. A hard ball. Looks to be up Gianluca Mancini. Well, there wasn't too much in the way of a protest from the Cremonese players. Piero Gasparini is furious on the Roma touchline. It was fizzed in by Daddieri. Not precisely sure where Mancini is supposed to put his hands there. The referee had a good view, and he immediately pointed to the spot. There's some things to consider here. The velocity of which the ball arrived at Mancini. It was drilled towards him from Bappieri. Was his hand in an unnatural position? I don't think it was. There is a VAR check in progress. You have held jury of seeing it again. Slowed down. Probing for Bianchetti, a quick one. Cleared by Mancini and then fizzed in by Daddieri. Then you could see there were known Cremonese players appealing for the penalty. And that normally tells you all you need to know. There have been 2 minutes added on at the end. We're into the third already. And not over here at the Zidi at the end of his first half. I'd be very surprised if this isn't overturned. Question remains, has Airoldi made it clear an obvious error? The assistant referee ushered him to go and have a look at it on the monitor. And the answer is yes. Did look to be a very harsh decision. It certainly strikes the hand of Gianluca Mancini, but is his arm away from his body? It's in an unnatural position. They'd suddenly take the referee 3 viewings on the pitch side monitor to come to a decision. And he will declare that to the stadium now. More eyes on the on-field referee Airoldi. Ha seguito anche l'edizione. Il calciatore numero 23 della Roma tocca il pallone con la mano in maniera non punibile. Decisione finale, revoca del calcio di rigore. The penalty is overturned. Ball did strike Gianluca Mancini's arm. And not in a position where he could have been punished for it, for a handball offence. And that is what the referee communicated as Davide Ricola and Piero Gasparini having some words down there on the touchline. now Giallorossi needs to be careful there. As Bonazzoli goes over to talk with the referee. He was in contact with the referee in the build-up. Bonazzoli now giving the referee an earful. Perhaps Matteo Bianchetti needs to console his two the attackers and talking their way into the referee's book. Forward by Bianchetti. One we played, there was only supposed to be 2 minutes, but here's about 90 pause. Referee's continuing on here to Boba's advantage now because it's Wesley down the left-hand side. 3 white shirts forward, Wesley into Pellegrini. From the figure of Pabanzi in the centre. Nando to get things going quickly here. Well, the first half comes to an end at the Giovanni Zidi. It's been a first half of pretty much everything. We had a goal from Mattias Soler, a well-taken strike with the left on the edge of the area. Roma thought they doubled their advantage, but Lorenzo Pellegrini's goal was disallowed for offside. Cremonese thought they earned a penalty after a handball from Gianluca Mancini, but it was overturned following in a review on the pitch side monitor by Giovanni Airoldi, the on-field referee. So after all of that, Roma go in with a 1. Lini, where Roma have turned to their bench. It is Neil Elinawi who has placed the really purpose at the end that Szuposki's, and at the end of the Polish defenders afternoon that he would have wanted on debut for Roma. Now we coming in through the midfield presumably, but Roma wants to put Cristante at centre back, and Pellegrini alongside Cornet and Elinawi with Baldazzi and Sole for those scorer top. Early shots in the second half here, but Cremonese have moved themselves a corner. Corner stealing for the Roma players to wake up here early on in this second half. It's Cremonese who needs to really make something happen early on in this second half, as they fell behind in the first half thanks to a strike from Matthias Soles, we previously mentioned. Yari van de Budden towards that top post, and it's away by Cornet. And it's been impressive for Roma, not just today, but throughout the course of this season. As they had a shout to the handball made on in that first half after the ball ricocheted off Gianluca Mancini's arm, but referee, despite initially giving it as a penalty kick, is urged to have another look at it on the pitch side monitor and changed his mind and vote penalty. It was third, but Ieri, we switch back over to that right hand side. The Soriani Mussolini on the left hand side. Baldazzi, heavy looking challenge. The referee tries to play advantage, no advantage, so he brings it back, propitiating that. Foul coming in from the back by Baschedotto. A mismatch there between physicality of Baschedotto and the slightness of Baldazzi. Another weighted full sheet. Hard to Roma will go on for another season at least for Cremonese. They've conceded against the Giallorossi in each of their last 8 meetings here at the Zini, despite winning their last contest against Roma 2-1. 2023. Incredible defence kept by Roma so far this season. This is obviously game week 12, and we find ourselves in, and only 5 goals conceded on our side to manage that with their great rivals Lazio back in the 22-23 campaign. A fantastic season for Lazio. End up finishing second in the league. Hentija. Abtu, the goal scorer, Soled. Taken up Bianchetti. Stop Baldazzi in the centre. Too much attacking firepower left on the field for Roma, and Pellegrini dropping into centre mid on the side. Corner. And to be asked of Tommaso Baldazzi. It's a foul there. Fabieri. Sporazzoli, very deep today. The outside central areas, leaving Giannardi as the isolated load striker. We haven't seen too much of Bardi. Now hearing then, this is confirmed news, of course, but there just be a film crew following Gianni Vardi. They're two of a documentary following the ex-Leicester City man and his first experiences in Italian football. And there as well that his family are in the stadium. He will love to get a goal in front of them. And he will get on the score sheet today, Bardi. He'd make it 3-3 here at the Zini, solidifying himself as the newest hero in Cremonese colours. Soldo goes down. He took one time to reach that conclusion. They to stick with the ball, and they thought the Joss was on. Eli now straight into the mixer, and fouling plan from France. Forazzoli. This is Pachetto. It's nothing. No chances being closed down by the tenacious Jamie Vardy. Caught in. Well marked by Floriani Sorini. And Ketty take it more than Cremonese's captain. Van de Putte. For the devilish delivery, the Belgian. Will we see it here? Van de Putte. Quite the cross that Cremonese attackers had in mind. Now that it's Roma hold the charge from the battle corner. The strength to hold off Barbieri, but he needs help here. Down far to the aptitude, I should say, to the referee's liking. The decision to Mairoldi. And Conan knew he was running down. Dead end there. Himself to the floor. That's his Terracciano. Vardy. Rasmore. Borazzoli. One here for Terracciano. This is Borazzoli once again. This scored some outrageous goals already this season. Made a goal against Milan at San Siro. It gave me of the season that overhead kick. Fancying his chances from the edge of the area. A great start to the season for Borazzoli, averaging a goal every 3 games in competitions. Wesley needs to be careful. Fondo, Popachad. Fits away from Eli Nawi. He plays in Pachetto. Bonazzoli and Vardy awaiting the cross. Cristante does enough. The back heel to take it away from Vardy. Who know how clinical Jamie Vardy could be in and around the box. Pivotal touch from Roma's captain Brian Cristante. Great move started off by Bondo. Got it. Baldazzi. Wesley is forward too. No one in a white shirt running into the box. This is where the absence of Herpenturgis and Arsen Dopic is certainly felt for the Giallorossi. And Barbieri. Some flips at the heels of the Brazilian Wesley, and Roma with themselves a free kick. Supportive for Pachetto. Cristante did enough. Pellegrini fires it in. But chest of Gianluca Mancini sending it wide. It was an unorthodox approach to the cross in. Wonderful delivery. Come off, skid off to first. Mancini always a threat from set pieces. And they put that for Cremonese. This is Vardy. Intelligently played to Pachetto. Through hiding that Cherik won the ball. Pachetto has stayed down here. Literally a clean challenge from the Turkey international. Cremonese creating plenty of chances in the first 10 minutes of this second half. Rather surprising when you consider they are the side in SerieA with the least number of passes into the opponent's boxes this season. They average at just 11 per game. Now, to put that into perspective, Roma for today's match double that amount per game, 22. Cremonese are going to need to create if they're going to move themselves back into contention, so they take a point right now. But 35 minutes left to play at the Serie, and Pachero needs treatment from a medical staff. Oops is low. Much by shadows. The race has been run. Franco Vasquez warming up. Vasquez, who did start Cremonese's last game away at Pisa. As Svoriani Mussolini makes way for Giuseppe Pizzella. The ex-Palermo man, at the ripe old age of 36, still has plenty to offer here. Why is it Trident of 38-year-old body? Diego Bonazzoli, 36-year-old Franco Vasquez. Periods in that threesome. Yep. No foul for Barbieri. This is Bonazzoli. Journey body and because of space in the centre, but the ball just couldn't quite sit for Bonazzoli. Vasquez, first touch for him. Tina Channel. Pulled about the cross into Bardi. Instead, he goes right to Bonazzoli. This is Vasquez once again. Player who can certainly unlock the door. And they put it. Well, once again by Lorenzo Pellegrini. Thought he'd give the rubber a 2-goal advantage early the second half, but it was ruled out for an offside. Cremonese playing well here. Bianchetti into a dangerous area, but with those players in the right position to latch onto it. What though now? They put there. Vasquez. Baldanzi, sweetly done. It's to the path of Wesley. And this is where Cremonese could be caught out on the counter. Wesley nicks out Somme. Mattia Solini. Everybody inside the Zini thought the net would be bulging there. Mattia Solini taking it down expertly, but he couldn't apply the finish. Great crossfield both from Wesley. An unconvincing strike of the ball there, always with the outside of the barracks. Crowd to let off for the Grigiorossi. I mean, no bones about that. Off trots, Tommaso Baldazzi. He's had a good game. No goal for him, but he's been lively. He's linked the play really well between defence, midfield and attack, and he will be replaced by Evan Ferguson. Another change, Stefan El Shaarawy coming on. So Pellegrini. Listen. Gasperini turning to Stefan El Shaarawy, player who he gave his debut to all the way back in the 2012-13 season for Genoa. Roma's injury list piling up. El Shaarawy has been given 4 minutes, and I think he's still too good off this season. The 33-year-old, assuming an integral part of the squad. Behind the scenes, Tipana, remember, Alves, Daly, Canino, Dolpik, and Mozart, all injured for Roma today. There goes Manu Cornet, Marshall Paipondo. This is Ferguson. Sode makes it off for Shenik. Half an hour to go at the Zini. Roma looking to add to their 1-goal advantage. No foul for Pezzella. Sole skips away from his man Aldero with the first save, and then hooked clear from Stipa Pieri in that. Some last-ditch defending. There's Jamie Vardy. It's the foul his way. It's always done to be an interesting contest, finally against Mancini today. The superb work here from Soled. So nothing really going to goal in that acute angle. He had so many white shirts in the centre. And Piero Gasperini has to be careful here. He's screaming to the fourth official, "Non ho detto niente, I said nothing." He's still going here, and as such, he's been sent off. Piero Gasperini. I'm clearly curious with that decision to award a free kick to Jamie Vardy after the foul from Gianluca Mancini. Well, that's made things a little bit more difficult for Roma, not having their coach on the sideline. Will Cremonese be able to profit from that? I wonder. There's still plenty of time left to go here at the Zini. This match hasn't been full of goals like some of the other matches so far in this SerieA game week. It's an intriguing contest nonetheless. Roma, remember, could go top of the tree once again with a win. Until at least tonight, when Inter could level it up at the summit. And then he called the Cremonese coach in with his staff. And they could potentially and to do with things and turn the tide in their favour. That Neri Polis, such an experienced coach at this level. This is in fact his 500th game as top level coach. Playing who's already seeded all of the Italian game. And Mancini. Or is this Wesley? El Shaarawy. Different kind of test now for Terracciano. It not looks like good zone to El Shaarawy. Cornet skips away from Bonazzoli. El Mancini lays it over Wesley. Pass the delivery into the box. It's a good one. Aldero comes to flap at it. This is El Shaarawy. It's there for El Ainawi and Ferguson. You lost. His first goal in Italian football ever, Ferguson. A goal gifted to the Giallorossi by their hosts, Cremonese. What was happening at the back for the Grigiorossi? Gasperini and Roma will not care about that. They lead by 2-0 at the Zini. And they're edging towards the top of the table once again. He's had to be patient. He's been in and out of the side thanks to the form of Artem Dogvik this season. He's been on the field less than 5 minutes. Evan Ferguson, and he finally, at the 12th time of asking, gets his goal in Roma colours. And able to calm finish to And out on loan from Brighton and Hove Albion. With a fantastic record in English football, looking to translate that to the Italian game. And it is he who has set Roma on their way. A huge mountain to climb now, but Cremonese, you feel. Still time for Roma to add ball. The big criticism of Bears this season is that they haven't been scoring goals. Anywhere near as much as you would expect from a team at the top. Oh, they've got 25 minutes now to get another couple. There's enough talent on there, within their ranks, to manage that. Giuseppe Pezzella piling forward. How things could change in the blink of an eye. But that's slowly almost putting Cremonese ahead in the first half. Mattias Solde minutes later with the decisive finish past Altero, giving the side to the capital the lead. Giampiero Gasparini sent off in the second half, and moments later Evan Ferguson, the second half substitutes, just when things looked to be going the way for Cremonese, giving Roma a 2-goal advantage. They are just over 20 minutes away from another victory. 4 in the last 5. The only defeats in that time have come to the two Milan-based clubs, Inter and Milan. 1-0 defeats in both of those games. Bonazzoli, Van de Putte. Cremonese are going to have to show some real steel here to get back into the game. Bud Bieri after Bonazzoli. This is Franco Vasquez on the turn. Beautiful play by Franco Vasquez. This is Bonazzoli. A delightful Cremonese move, and it's not rewarded with a goal. Franco Vasquez making a difference since coming on from the substitutes bench. His creativity being shown there. Beautiful stooped ball into Bonazzoli. Shutout round the corner for Ferguson. Misses El Shaarawy once again. Wesley, he's in an onside position. Wesley for number 3. He applies the finishing touch. John Hopkins into. This was supposed to be a tough test of the Zini today, but Roma are passing the test with flying colours. What can they achieve this season? Something feels different in the capital. A wonderful sweeping ball from the Giallorossi. Wesley with his second goal in Serie A. The game very much away from Cremonese now. A striker's finish for Wesley. Coming to the club as a traditional right-back from Flamengo in Brazil. He's been converted into a wide man, a wide attacking player. And 2 goals already this season. A lovely depth finish to chip it over Altero. Another change. Cremonese's Van de Putte makes way for Alberto Grassi, the ex-Empoli captain. 20 minutes to go. It's a case now for the home side for the winning. Potential embarrassing results here. Damage and imitation, certainly the order of the day for Davanini corners. They haven't been at their best. I mean, truth, they haven't been at their best for quite some time in SerieA. They won 2 of their first 3 games, but a barren run of just 1 victory in the last 9. And Cremonese are certainly going in the wrong direction as we approach the busy Christmas period. Then Sharawi, it's a Manu corner. Sharawi, back to Wesley. Roma want more, Rubber can smell more. They'll back heel on Sole. Wonder whether Gasparini, his coaching staff, will decide to make the extra 2 changes that they have, sparing the likes of Sole and Cornet. He stands there for the big game on Thursday against Midtjylland. Remember, as we said in the first half, Roma taking on champions Napoli mixed Sunday. A thin game for them. There's a lot of games coming thick and fast, and when you have a squad that's as depleted as Roma's is this season, Gasparini will have to make changes at some point. Wesley, scorer of Roma's 3rd goal. Barbieri. Bonazzoli lays it off for Vasquez. Vasquez and Jamie Vardy can't get a touch at the moment. He peeled away from Zekicelli on the left-hand side of attack, but Vasquez going for goal. Leslie tumbling to the floor. Of course, all the fans are taking the games one at a time and not getting ahead of themselves, but they're playing some scintillating football. And the most important thing any good side, any champions, the bygone era have always managed to do is keep it tight at the back. That's exactly what Roma are doing. Just 5 goals conceded all season long in SerieA, and now in week 12 for a remarkable defensive display. He goes, Vasquez looking to make something happen. Jamie Vardy, these are the positions that he loves. But at the end, he thought about the shot, instead he squares it. Might fall here for Vardy to go out for a corner. Jamie Vardy, who was interviewed by SerieA at the beginning of the season, said to the Cremonese fans, there's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, but we've got to stick with us. This is clearly the worst days of the season so far for Cremonese. We've been outclassed by this Roma side. Other people thought this one very close, considering Roma's injury worries at the moment. The likes of Dybala being out, and onto topic 2. Giallorossi flooding that up, still wanted to play at club. There's plenty of players who can chip in with the goals, as we've seen Wesley Ferguson. Also that goal from Sonnet, burst off. Like, let me get it. It's a lot. Back to Aldedo. Cremonese will be thinking how this game got away from them. It was 1-0 for such a long time. Managing to create chances. The introduction of Franco Vasquez changed the dynamic for Cremonese in attacking areas. And 2 quick-fire goals. First, Ferguson then from Wesley set Roma on their way to another win, another away win this season. Remaining 15 minutes here should be a formality for Serie's outfit. Indica. Inchilab is dropping off from Cremonese now, and Indica has so much space to rob into. This is Wesley taking on Paradieri. Wesley. That's how I call it by Teo Channel. Into this game, the side level with Roma at the top of the table. Inter had outscored them by double, 24 goals to Roma's 12, 3 added to Vitali as they go up to 15. It's much more like it from Roma perspective. And their biggest criticism this season that they haven't managed to convert and chances created. Hilai Naui fronts off the Roma fans. There comes the claim. Submit his greatest performance on the Edo in a Cremonese shirt. Kings at fault the goal that was disallowed in the first half when Pellegrini latched onto his spill. And some unconvincing goalkeeping in the lead up to Evan Ferguson's first goal. Vasquez. Vasquez. Hosharawi. Always looking forward. Chance to recycle it back to the defence, but El Sharawi, he's getting on the score sheet himself. Be his first of the season, be in Serie A, of course. Naui, just out here, who hasn't looked out of sorts at centre back, them on side. Dica Mancini. Sonnen teasing Bianchetti. Standing strong. The session of another corner kick. You do feel that Cremonese should be okay this season if they want to avoid the top. That was the intention, the objective. So David Nikona spoke of the eve of this new campaign. Results going their way at the moment, and they need to change that with league games against Bologna, Lecce, Torino. Give them a chance to do so, that's for sure. One comes in, it's posed by Shelik, one away by Grassi. Restarted. Well, it's 10 minutes of turned into it was just training one team, though otherwise they let themselves get another corner kick. This is a change at the back coming up for Nicola's men. So just before Lino enters the fray in place of Cajun, if it is that equal one at Solins. The breaks way, and the 20 Sanabria and onwards Serena comes on for the final 10 minutes. The standing ovation from the travelling Roma fans for Wesley. Fantastic the moments from the Brazilian. And he is presumably spared for Thursday's night. Thursday's Europa League contest against Midtjylland. Simicas coming on for the Brazilian. They're up easy. It's out to play. Seller goes down and wins the free kick. Cremonese's way. Cremonese looking for a consolation goal here, headed clear by Zeki Celik. We get there ahead of Pizzella. Soler seems to have been everywhere today for Roma. He's sent them on their way in the first half with that magnificent left-footed strike from the edge of the area. Zeki Celik has gone down and he might be medical potential here. And awkward landing. But and yellow card shown to Warren Bulldog. Ferguson. She's seen down by Schirotto. Bidna Federico by Schirotto's best performance of the season. And through that hasn't been Cremonese's best of the season either. Vardy still trying to make something happen. Foligno. It's a nice ball. It's Emma. Held Vasquez. Dangerous here for Roma. Vasquez. Blocked by Cristante. Superb defensive work from the Roma skipper. It's down to developing into such an important player. Telechannel. He does it now. Simicas. Followers of the Premier League will be familiar with Mr. Peter Simicas from Liverpool this season. He's been having to study to Anthony Robertson for the last 2 years at Anfield. Referee plays an advantage. Good officiating by Adrolbi. El Shaarawy skips away. Roma looking to Adam make here for the battle cornet. Thought about the shot. Fancy footwork. This is Konstantinos Simicas who hands it up to non-ball El Shaarawy. Roma taunting and teasing Cremonese at the moment. If it's that sort of time the goal Roma had their fourth. 7 minutes of the 90 to go. That cheated. Kneeling. It's Simicas not happy with the ball forwards. Yellow card there now, preventing Vasquez from taking the quick free kick. Easily avoidable late yellow card for Moroccan. Was flown under the radar then, but at Roma in the transfer because it's for a hefty fee, 23.5 million euros, not a lot. The end of the transfer window in the summer. A special moment now for Enrico Lopez who comes on for Roma for the entire in his career. He's interference in all competitions for that under 61. And it is Matthias Soler who makes way. Immediate player of the match contenders on your screen 30 seconds ago. Ferguson also came for mentions. That's the second goal for Roma, his first in Italian football. Something a contender because of it. I think it was his first goal, but you can't look past medal cornet. Absolutely imperious in the centre of the park. Never seems to get the credit that he deserves in a Roma shot. Matthias Soler for that top contender too. Simicast. Just with Vasquez, but he goes down. Referee thought about whistling. Now eventually he does. 4.5 of the 90 to go. That's a decent ball here. There's 3 gets the gloves to it. With 2 Cremonese players attacking the ball. One of them was Tony Sanabria. We haven't seen an awful lot of since coming on. That out of favour. That's Torino, Tony Sanabria. Limited chances here with the Cremonese, with the emergence of Bonazzoli and Zardi using up so well. We've seen an awful lot of that today, however. A little bit of afters between Follino and Cristante. Thing that the Roma skipper needs to get involved in at this late stage, with his side coasting to a victory. It's been nice for Roma fans watching this. The stadium are at home. It's been a struggle in so many matches this season getting over the line. They haven't really been as critical as they have today, but they have a 3-goal advantage and they thoroughly deserve it today against Cremonese. Haven't really put up a fight, particularly in the second half. They had a couple of half chances in the first half. Bonazzoli forcing the early save from Svila. They put that, forcing another double save from the Svila. What didn't make them the Roma back mine too, but it's been Paul Giallorossi in the second half. Deservedly hold a 3-goal advantage. Now we got the ball with counter-attack on. Ferguson is up with El Shaarawy. Search him as now. It's a nice ball to find Everett. Ferguson, he goes to the chip. Another chance for Ferguson. He's got El Shaarawy in support. He goes to the goal and finds the goal. Joy short-lived for the Irishman. The offside fight is up. Was the initial challenge from Ilinawi, and Ferguson from that angle you can see just straying offside, tried to lift it over Aldeano, very similarly to the finish that we saw from Wesley 15 minutes ago. Well, a 36 on form, Evan Ferguson, is a sight to behold, and Roma fans will be hoping he gets back to those levels that we saw when he was coached by the Italian Roberto De Zerbi a few seasons ago at Brighton and Hove Albion. He had a disappointing stint on loan at West Ham United. Failed to score at the London-based club last season. He's off the mark in Roma colours now, Evan Ferguson. .30 seconds left of the 90. Metal corner. It gives them space in the centre of the park. Cremonese's energy levels have very much dropped in the last 10 minutes. Game has escaped them. Simicast. Goes inside to Ilinawi. This is Cornet once again. Simicast. Another decent delivery. With Mascherotto. Sanabria tussling with Ilinawi, who's there, and he's a clear run. The final corner, sectional once again from the Frenchman. 4 minutes of time added on. Schelling, wayward drive towards goal. Or where do Cremonese go from here? 3 defeats on the spin to Juventus, Pisa, and now Roma, and they face difficult and trip to the Renato Dall'Ara next weekend on the 1st of December to face Bologna. High-flying Bologna, remember, who beat Udinese by 3-0 and challenging for a Champions League place this season. You're likely to expect them to be mixing it with the teams looking for the title, but you never know. Centro Italiano, after winning the Coppa Italia, might have the Serie A title, the Scudetto, in his sights. That's what makes the Italian game so fun to watch. There's genuinely 4 or 5 teams who could win this season's Scudetto. Unlike in the European countries where it is just 1 or 2 clubs fighting for the top prize. Terracciano. Sfida will want to keep hold of this clean sheet. Corner. And Terracciano. Soon Vasquez once again. So Admiral released. Up to Barbieri. A last attack of the game will go to the home side, who will look to get that consolation goal. Unwavering support from Alan Fancy or Giovanni Zini. Don't see the flag still flying. All these Cremonese players as the ball is lofted in. And it's been put away for Nino, with his first goal in the Italian John White's. The consolation goal, but a proud permit for the Cremonese defender. The clean sheet for Miles Villar snatched from under his feet. And Cremonese do have that 1 consolation goal. The set piece during the trek for the Grigiorossi. Despite Molino's side not be able to get anything from the game. A little bit of personal satisfaction for the young defender. Well, that will really irritate me, let's speed up. It was done. It's just 1 more set piece to defend, but I think that's Foligno go to second half substitutes. And Simicast. For the minutes almost up. So to referee add all the wants to add anything more. Another test passed with flying colours. The Gasparidis Giallorossi, who reclaimed top spots when consigned Davide Nicola's side to a 3rd successive defeat. Yoles from Matthias Solle, Evan Ferguson, and Wesley confirmed the victory. There was a consolation goal and more second half substitutes. Francesco Foligno and Maton doing this too strong than Cremonese today. They're proving their doubters wrong. They managed to score. They managed to find an clinical nature. And that first goal in Serie A, and Evan Ferguson achieved with a final score, the Giovanni Zini. It's finished. Cremonese 1, Roma 3.